Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Diamond Ana on console. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that really does help me out. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, all that good stuff. You're running, you have yourself Ana Mercy with a Rein Zarya tank line. Okay. Hey Zara, good to have you here. You can re-challenge him. He didn't look at you.
Take your medicine.
Okay, go for the scope. Good effort. Okay, there is still something there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is dangerous to sort of walk across. A shot to keep him honest, a hit on him to keep him honest would be nice. You can't just stay here. You don't have cover. He left. The Tracer's coming in. You spent your nade. You spent your nade here? Why did you spend your nade here? This is going to get blocked by your team. Is it the halt? Are you that worried about the halt? I like that. Good pressure shot. I can handle this, but you see the arrow go across, and that's a sonic arrow go across, so you know there's stuff to the right. So you don't want to hang out here. You want to potentially slide a little more to the left here, slide a little more like this, where you can see the threats to you, where you can use this as an angle, where you can use this as an angle, etc. You see the halt going off, and I'm guessing it's the halt that draws your nade. I don't really like the halt drawing your nade. A Reinhardt got caught in that. Reinhardt can put his shield up. It's fine. Yeah, you don't need to spend your nade on a halt. You're being shot by a Tracer when you sleep the Orisa. Not a fan. Okay. We can't just ignore them when there's a flanker on us. I know it's tempting, but you can't just ignore flankers. You do have to turn, drive them off, keep them honest, etc.
I wasn't cut out for retirement anyways.
Your team is not going to just drive them away for you. Like, occasionally that'll happen, but even so, you need to be challenging them yourself.
See that which is unseen.
Okay. I don't really like spending your sleep like that. I definitely don't like spending your nade like that while your sleep is spent. So if you look at this team, yeah, there's stuff you can do this team, yada yada. I don't really like sending sleeps at Orisa because she's just got too many answers between her shield, her fortify, etc. But even beyond that, you don't want to put both of your abilities on cooldown when there's a Tracer on the other team, especially a Tracer capable of making your life annoying, which she just proved, in this last life, etc. So save a cooldown for her. My preference would be that you save sleep for her, unless your nade is like a second or two from coming back, or you see an ult that you have to shut down with a sleep or something like that. That's fine, but I'd prefer you not go for these like tempo sleeps. If you're also going to use your nade for stuff, you can go for tempo sleeps and then keep your nade, or you can go for value nades and then sort of keep your sleeps. I'd prefer that. I'd prefer you keep your sleep to defend yourself and you use your nades on the offense. But you can't be using both like this, because you didn't have to use your nade there. You were fine. You could have just waited for Mercy to heal you. Good.
Just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Better.
Get here.
Their Tracer's down, so that's fine. Fine.
You're covered.
You've tried to deny that, Rez, but your team just isn't interested. A couple times now. Okay. I don't really think you had to rotate there. I think that's taking yourself out of the fight for too long. So you look at this, and you go, hey, yes, you would like to heal your team, but this is a lot of downtime that you've got to go through to get over here to heal your team. Like, it is a long rotation for you, and there's stuff you can be doing here. You can just keep poking out this Sigma, providing value, etc. Yes, your job is to heal, quote unquote, as Ana, but really your job is to support. And if you're in this situation where it's like, it's going to take me forever to get over here, it is okay if you just go, nope, I'm going to double tap this Sigma, I'm going to triple tap this Sigma and remove him, and that's worth more. You see, if someone really needs to go heal your team over here, your super mobile Valking Mercy can do it. Like, I promise she can go, oh, if these guys really need it, I can go help them. That costs her way less than it does you right now. Like, look at how slow this rotation is. You didn't know they'd circle away from you that hard, so you'd expect to be healing them by now, but think of how long, even if they hadn't rotated away, this took you out of the fight. And there was always the possibility of them rotating away. Again, your Mercy had the ability to go do this. You should have stayed in for value.
Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
أنا هاخد بالي منك.
Usually you'd take the shot at the Tracer before you'd sleep. I notice you're going for the sleeps early on it pretty consistently. I can live with that, but I'm a little surprised that you're going for those distant sleeps, these sort of medium to short range sleeps, as opposed to short range sleeps on this Tracer. Usually you would open with shots.
Escorting the payload.
Yeah, I'm sure she did, but again, she had a Valking Mercy next to her. Valking Mercy is like buzz 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 and goes everywhere, etc. So like, let your Valking Mercy go. Oh yeah, I'll go over here and just toggle the beam and heal the three of them. No problem. Well, you go. Hi Sigma, poke, poke, poke. You know, that would be the thing. Or if you want to throw a nade here at them once that comes back up, sure, that's fine. But like, that's all. Maybe not quite as quick as I illustrated, but yes, Valks are quick. You hear the Tracer, you're not reacting to hearing that Tracer again. So I do wonder if you're not using directional sound in whatever setup you're using. I know you're on console, and I wonder if you're not using directional sound. If you're not, you need to. Like, the sound in Overwatch is really, really good. So when you hear that Tracer shooting, you need to be able to tell where it's coming from. So use a sound setup that allows you to do that. It makes a pretty big difference. Because that's a second time that you're really slow to react to a Tracer.
I will keep you healed.
A Tracer based on sound cues, anyways. Sleep on the Hanzo? No. Sleep on the Hanzo near two barriers? Definitely no. Gonna heal your Mercy. Gonna heal you. Why are we spending both of our cooldowns? Why are we spending both of our cooldowns into a barrier when there's a Tracer right here and our Mercy is low health? Excuse me? I mean, you could. You could throw a Nano onto this Pharah if you think she can get over this and just watch her wreck them. Like, it would be funny. Funny is worth something. Is she actually high enough? No, she's going to slide too slow. Never mind.
Take your medicine.
It's a 5v5 though, so like, I am okay. If you see an opportunity to Nano the Pharah or the Reinhardt or the Zarya when she's got a little more energy, those are all fine.
Lights out.
I'm glad you hit it. Okay, you have a very light tempo advantage right now, not based on the sleep, though that does help, but instead based on the respawn distances. This is gonna hurt. Why are you pushing that rather than healing your Mercy? Like, yeah, your Mercy's probably not in danger, unless that tracer's nearby, which is a real possibility. Like, you know, they Sigma Slam Tracer. I don't think you know where the Tracer is. I'd prefer you'd have turned and healed your Mercy here, especially because you were like here where you effectively had cover and it's just like, oh, let me turn and heal my Mercy and then let me go back to doing this.
You're powered up. Get in there. I will keep you healed.
You saw the Tracer and you sort of reacted. Okay. It's fun how that worked out.
I need help.
For those of you that didn't see, she clearly slept the Tracer here, but the Tracer was almost blinking, had like activated blink but hadn't moved yet, so fell asleep over here, which, you know, I think is a blast because the Tracer shouldn't be in two places at once like that. It should really be a you're in one place or the other situation. Yeah, you didn't have time for that reload. Okay.
Get back in the fight. This will help.
It's fine.
Let me get you patched up.
أنا هاخد بالي منك.
Okay. You have plenty of people in front of you. You don't need to use a cooldown. That's okay. It's not like amazing because your team is just unlikely to follow up on it, but if it holds them back for you to get this cap, sure.
The payment.
The payload has reached the ship.
Enemy contact. I will keep you healed. The payload. Move it out.
I could use some assistance.
This will only hurt for a minute.
It's kind of not the first time you've left your Mercy hanging a bit there, but okay. Again, I would really generally prefer, it's too easy to blink dodge you at that distance. Like, spend a shot, not your cooldown at that distance, please. Good idea.
Hello there.
At that distance when, you know, on a Tracer who's trying to come at you. If she's not paying attention to you, if she's paying attention to someone else, sure. But what it really is Sleep Dart takes so long, Anna does a motion to, you know, reach down for a waistband, pull out her Sleep Dart weapon and go, ha, and then it's a projectile that has travel time on top of that. So, like, it's kind of slow, and Tracers are used to dodging stuff. Like, that is what they do. They blink dodge stuff, etc., etc. So, like, firing something that slow with that much of a wind-up, etc., not a fan. I'd much rather you've at least reduced their reaction time because they're closer, etc.
Listen to your mom.
Nade, yep.
Healing in her. I will keep you healed.
Again, it's okay this time because you're right on top of your spawn door. You can back away from the Tracer. But it's clearly not even in your thought process to not just tempo use both cooldowns. Nice.
Enemies.
Your poor Mercy.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
You're going to be okay.
Okay, can we get better Nano this time?
Liam, with it.
They can. That's no. You threw that at a barrier. It's close, but you did.
Liam.
Okay. I mean, that's an armored nano Orisa. I don't really know that changing it purple makes the biggest difference in the world, but we can pretend. You're reloading. Hey, we're close enough. I'll let it be.
Just a scratch. You'll be fine.
That was closer, and you hit it. Good stuff. You've hit some further away ones too, but
Someone get that payload.
wouldn't it be great to have had nade for this? Wouldn't it have just been amazing to have had nade for this grav right here? But no, we threw it into a barrier. This is console Zera. This is console.
Nin. Someone get that payload moving.
Why did we not nano that? Like, that's an automatic nano in this situation. Yeah.
Listen to your mom. Listen to your mom.
Yeah. It's, he's, you know, using a somewhat aim-intensive hero on console is not going to look as pretty as you'd expect on PC. Yep. I generally say that at the beginning of the stream, the level and what if it's console, but I know sometimes you guys join a minute or two after. Okay. Why was the nade the only thing that we did here? So if we look at those. You do your probably unnecessary reload. You throw a nade, it's going to be hard to follow up on, but I'll live with it. This is your barrier, so you're totally safe. You're totally safe. You don't need to close this angle. You don't need to close this angle. You can already be scoped hitting follow-up shots, preferably on the Ana. Already, okay. Why did we only hit one follow-up shot? Could have been 2, 3 follow-up shots. We had cover available. We had the barrier between us and them. There's no reason for this to have been like this.
I have you coming. You're powered up. Get in there.
That shouldn't be able to happen, and it's annoying. Like, it shouldn't be able to absorb your nano and not have gotten the heal from your nano. My belief on it anyways. But hey, because that Pharah was not bursted down through the nano health with the nano damage reduction. That's not what happened. It just went down when nano was already, we'll say, traveling through the air to it.
This is going to hurt. You're going to be okay.
Cease your resistance.
That said, I don't particularly like Nano Barrage. I'm getting too caught up in, hey, that sucks, etc. I don't particularly like Nano Barrage. I would literally prefer that you Nano Whole Hog. I would prefer that you Nano Visor. I would prefer, excuse me, you don't have that. I'd prefer that you Nano Whole Hog. I would prefer that you Nano a high energy Zarya. I would prefer that you Nano your Orisa, even as she's pushing, etc. Like, I'm not a fan of the Nano Barrage. You don't need more damage from Barrage. Barrage has plenty of damage, and it doesn't make it deliver its damage much faster. Yes, it makes the individual missiles do more damage, but it doesn't make that first set of missiles get there faster, which is really what you'd be looking for to actually keep your Pharah alive better. And the damage reduction, 50%, yeah, that helps a little bit, but it's kind of a waste compared to other places that you could use it. I don't recommend nanos on barrages. I would prefer the other targets I mentioned.
You're going to be okay.
Cease your resistance.
We're going to throw an nade at those, right?
This will help.
That's not really what I meant. Okay, are you going to break this open? Okay.
Get back in the fight. We're leaving you with them.
I need healing.
Tracer's nowhere near you, fine. Oh look, Tracer coming up the left. You have nade, but that wasn't planned. Nice.
I've seen what you're going to live.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your
Don't over babysit your Pharah, because your Mercy's with her, which means your front line is vulnerable. Let it break, let it break, let it break. Nade. Nade. Nade on the Hog.
This will only hurt for a
Hog
bit.
was better because there was the possibility that the Hog was going to bring someone back to him with that hook, and you'd have gotten the value there too. But that was fine.
You're going to be okay.
60 seconds.
This is not the end.
Ned,
Good.
I require healing.
See if we can get a better nano. No reaction to that tracer. None.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Is approaching
Walk it
its
off.
destination.
Rocket barrage incoming. Get back in the fight.
Heroes
Good.
never die.
So we've had like 3 times that you've just not reacted to a tracer at all that was obviously there from sound cues. So again, I'm going to think directional sound is going to be a very important improvement for you. If you have directional sound, you were distracted and something's up there. That's going to be the biggest, easiest thing. I'd also like you to change your tempo again, because I'm thinking, hey, there's this tracer here, etc. They're not giving you a ton of trouble, but it's what we're seeing the most to work on here, where this tempo of sometimes you spend both cooldowns when there's a tracer around, and that's not something that you want to be doing. You want to have something for dealing with the tracer, and nade is your, I'll say, bigger contribution cooldown most of the time. So I'd recommend you spend your nade on the fight and keep your sleep dart to protect you. I would recommend that unless you know the tracer's in spawn, you know where the tracer is, etc. If you haven't seen the tracer in a bit, I don't really want you committing both cooldowns like that. Again, unless it's like the next cooldown is back in literally 2 seconds.
Don't worry, my friends. I am your shield.
Random question. How do you recommend not becoming tilted during games or after losses? I do strongly recommend taking breaks. I strongly recommend going, hey, I was playing the video game, I was doing this, played a couple games in a row, whether they were a win or a loss. It's time to do something that's a little more physically interactive with the real world. That might be I'm going to wash some dishes, I'm going to make some food, I'm going to go do 50 push-ups, I'm going to go walk 6 blocks and walk back, I'm going to write an email for work that I need to get out, and then, let my brain go back into Overwatch mode for 5 minutes before I go back in, etc. But I don't recommend stacking up like 5-6 games in a row. I really don't. It's not fantastic for your mental state, etc. That would be my best recommendation for it. There's other things you can do where you can really be focusing on, hey, it's about my improvement. Did I hit my sleep? I'm working on my sleep darts. Did I use my sleep darts the way I wanted to this match? Cool, then it doesn't matter. Did I use my sleep darts the way I wanted to the next match? Cool, then the outcome doesn't matter. And you only become caring about the outcome if you are finding your own topics to improve on, and you're like, wait, my sleep dart usage is better, but I need to continue to think about this because, hey, I'm not, even though I think I've improved my sleep dart usage, I'm getting worse outcomes. And you might notice that, but you wouldn't notice that from playing the game. You wouldn't notice that because you lost 3-4 games in a row. You'd notice that when you were doing more VOD review and going, wait, I'm having second thoughts about this. It's not outcome dependent, but an outcome could be a flag to go do more self VOD reviews, to go find it and be like, wait, I thought this was a good thing to work on, but maybe the conclusion I came to was wrong, etc. And, that's something you do when you're improving on your own without a coach, etc. Okay.
I need healing.
Show them what you can do.
5, 4, 3.
I also find it's easier to not become tilted if you're not emotionally invested in calling the match and taking over the match and trying to be like, hey, go do this, hey, go do this, hey, go do this. You put too much of your spirit into the match when you do those things, and it's very easy to get caught up in the loss of that case and then burn out a little faster, etc. That's great, but that's for and you can do that. It's worth a few hundred SR, but it burns you out pretty fast. I would mostly recommend people, unless they're working on that skill specifically, reserve that for their scrim team.
2,
Or a team of 6 that they're playing with on ladder, which is also perfectly fine, fun, etc.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Name.
Hey, Cyrus Happy. It's okay, you're just missing some console Diamond Anna. It'll still be there in the VOD.
You're covered.
What are they running at you? They're running the Soldier Tracer? Okay. Fine. Yeah, and that's fine, Sarah. You can continue to do them, but it does tend to make you more emotionally invested. So just recognize that that's the thing. If you want to continue to do them, I think they're great. I think they make ranked great, but they do get you more invested, which makes you take the losses a little harder.
I will keep you healed.
I don't love this reload, but okay.
This will help.
And you then complete the reload, but still throw the nade. You completed the reload. You should have just hit the shot, but okay. Again, it's that mid-range Tracer Sleep. I don't really like your mid-range Tracer Sleeps. It's too easy for her to dodge. She's looking at you to be able to dodge things. You force her to spend blinks on your shot so that you have a real chance of sleeping her.
I've seen worse.
Okay, you know where the Tracer is and you hurt her. Okay. Why did you not take the shot at your Zarya there? That was weird.
I require healing.
Watching your back.
Sleep into the wall, but okay. Your team's never going to be able to follow up onto that. Like, what do you think is going to happen if you hit this nade? Do you think it's going to be like, hey, it's going to be a big deal because my Pharaoh's going to hit a rocket? Like, I don't know, man.
Group up with me. You're covered. Get here.
You have my thanks.
Go. I'll keep you healed. Nap time.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
Okay.
Healing in
No. You didn't want to nade after you saw the recall. You wanted to nade later in the fight when she's out of things and she has to be in. That could have been a good nade, but you threw that after she'd popped recall. Oh boy. Okay, now save your mercy this time.
Lights out.
Save your mercy.
Heroes never die.
You're covered.
Your poor mercy. Oh yeah, I'm on the same page, Narston.
The pain. Heal up.
This is over.
Rocket barrage.
My team still needs me.
Objective lost.
Okay, you guys gonna take high ground?
The payload.
Are you please gonna take high ground? The high ground, it's amazing. Yeah, you shoot at her. You shoot at her. You don't immediately sleep. There you go.
Nerf this.
You 100% didn't need to do that. I'm not even going to rewind. You 100% could have blocked that self-destruct with this pillar. 100%. This was a risk that you weren't going to make it that ended up happening. Okay, Sarasapi asks, Temporal, say hypothetically this enemy tracer was carrying and nobody punished her as a healer, how would you deal with them, i.e. prioritize healing your team or punish the flanker? What I would do in this situation, I mean, in this situation, if the enemy tracer was really carrying, I'd try to organize with my other support so that one of us was playing Briggs. Preferably, if I'm already on Ana, I'll have my Mercy swap over to Briggs, and Tracer's gonna have a really tough time. Like, it is really tough to take people down through armor packs with a bash available, etc., etc. So that's what I'd say if the enemy Tracer really was carrying. I wouldn't run this support line. at it if the enemy Tracer was really carrying. But that's not what's going on. And if I'm stuck with this support line and I go, hey, I don't want to run Briggs Mercy because that's not a very good support line, I would go, okay, I have to suck it up, and I'm going to make sure that I'm constantly, every time I see Tracer, when I'm healing my tanks, when I'm doing stuff, when I'm back here, every time I see Tracer starting to go through a flank route, etc., I'm going to put a tick of damage into her. I'm going to, flick over and hit one shot on her, flick over and hit one shot on her, so that she can never get in on the flanks, or, I mean, she can, but every time I possibly can, before she even gets on the flanks, I'm putting a little bit of pressure on her, so that she's going to have to go find a health pack, or she's not going to show up on me with full health, etc. Even though it's meaning, hey, I'm healing my team a little less, even though it's meaning, yeah, Ryan, you're half health, too bad, I'm flicking over to take a shot at this Tracer before I flick back and keep healing you. That's what I would recommend at a base level. Other things are what I've already said, which is you try to force blinks with your shots, and then once you've forced a couple blinks, or once Tracer comes in close, you can try to go for your sleep dart. I don't like how early these sleep darts are coming out, because the Tracer's far enough away that it's easy to blink dodge, etc. I hope that answers your question, Sire Sappy. If not, give me a different situation, or say, no, what else can I do, or you know the drill.
My team still needs me.
Okay, so I'm really hoping we can get a better nano this time, because I have not been thrilled with our nanos. That was fine. So was that.
Healed up.
You see her? Nope. That should have been a shot. That should have been a hip fire shot. That should have been a hip fire shot. It could have been a quick scope shot. It should not have been a sleep dart.
You're powered up. Get in there.
So like this is a situation where it's like, okay, whether I put the nano out or not, I guess, hey, we're going to put the nano out, and then immediately flick over and, well, that was weird. Okay, so put the nano out and then immediately flick over and take a shot at the Tracer. Immediately. It's not going to eliminate her. I don't expect to get a second shot that damages her, etc. And it does mean that she's going to come after me more often. But that's good. If she's carrying, I want her to come after me more often, and she's going to be coming after me ineffectively because I'm keeping pressure on her. She can't jump me at full health, etc., etc. Or if she can, she's, circling through health packs, all that good stuff. Why did you shoot the Reinhardt? There really should have been a shot into the Tracer there, not the Reinhardt, but okay.
Get back in the fight.
I don't like how far you're pushing in. You know that Tracer is in this general area. Tracer is playing this side. Tracer didn't leave. I don't like how much you're pushing in here. Like, getting close to your team provides some advantage, but you're pushing into their concave. Now they're going to clear Torb turret. Okay. I mean, you can reject my answer. Maybe I'll give you another one. Maybe I'll say, well, tough. Hey, up to you.
This will help.
To let off some steam.
Take your medicine.
I have beat one.
Okay.
Get healed.
Under fire. Power.
Okay.
Someone call the ambulance.
King of beauty.
No. Like, she's not looking at you, so it's a little better than some of your other ones, but you don't sleep dart at this range. No. You scope shot. You scope shot at the Tracer twice, and then you see if you need to heal your Pharah. I mean, we'll judge it shot by shot, but, like, seriously, scope shot at the Tracer. Heal your Pharah. What? Like, you sent a sleep dart in there, that wasn't adequate because your sleep dart didn't hit. One shot of healing onto your Pharah might be adequate. That might be, hey, I have given you a little bit of pocket. I have given you a small percentage of pocket, and that's enough. I expect you to win the fight, etc. But what you did didn't help your Tracer at all, or didn't help your Pharah at all. So why do you think you can turn away from this fight to do something else now? Your poor Pharah. Okay, your Mercy showed up, so now you can go back to babysitting tanks.
I have your back.
Wouldn't it be great to have the sleep dart here to, you know, help protect during this earth shatter? Good.
You look tired.
Do something!
I need assistance.
You really just like ignoring tracers, don't you? So here we are. There's this on you. I get it. You have to deal with this thing on you. You are getting healed. Hey. It's shooting you. This turns around to leave. So you immediately need to go, hey, I was never taking this thing down anyways. I'm not sure why I was shooting at it. I should have been on the tracer that was on me because there was no chance of me taking down the diva. But since I've done that, maybe now I'll turn and deal with the tracer rather than trying to shoot into the armored mech that has a Valking Mercy attached to it. Nope, I want to keep shooting at the... No.
This will help.
You can't win anymore. This tracer's basically full on resources and you've got nothing. And you're missing health. Yeah, you gave it no respect. And yes, you were going to lose this fight anyways, but the diva was not the high probability move. The sleep into the diva when it was turned around was the high probability move, but nothing else you did into the diva was the high probability move.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
I've come back from worse.
Let me get you patched up.
I will keep you healed.
We heard the double blink, we see the shots, and we hear the shots. No. Tracer should not have gotten this close. You should have had 2 shots on the tracer in the time they were able to get from here to here, or they should have had to go very expensive on their blink use. And if they go very expensive on their blink use, you can use the sleep dart. But they didn't. They didn't have to go very expensive on their sleep use because you didn't respond to the signs that the tracer was there. Okay.
Get back in the fight.
Nerf this!
Oh boy. Reset.
Nim.
Okay. Let's get a better nano, please. Please. You're gonna have to use it anyways. Get a nano on your diva when she has boosters, or get a nano on your Zarya when she's built a little charge. But you're gonna have to get a nano out fast.
Walk it off. You're powered up. Get in there.
Who did we just use this on? Your diva. I'm fine with that. Now don't ignore the tracer.
Nim.
You're going to ignore the tracer. You are hard ignoring the tracer. Your team has plenty of people here. Why are you on cart? You did not need to run to the... whatever. Okay. So, we have tracer awareness, which is probably tied to sound, but in general tracer awareness. We have the sleep darts and how you use it into your tracers, and then we have your nanos and my dislike of them at this point. We'll get into more specifics as we see a couple more nanos here. You should get at least 2 more nanos with how this looks. Probably 3.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
I will keep you healed.
Hold up.
Right idea. Just leave. You're done. Just
30
leave.
seconds remaining.
We do not
No,
have
this was
time
not
to
your leave
waste
path.
attack now.
That's good. Good. Sorry, Zara. I'd have to check the queue. I honestly don't know yet. I would have to literally look at the queue, and I'm not going to do that in the middle here.
10 seconds
We're
remaining.
running out of time.
Overtime.
Take your medicine. This is going to hurt.
Unfortunate. You didn't get a real push, but that happens.
Everyone
Ready
signed.
And now you're playing BAP?
Ready for battle.
Okay. Do I care about you playing BAP?
No, that still looks bad.
Okay. I mean, he is like the textbook definition of you would like to play back here, where you can go, I lob nades, I shoot, I lob nades, I shoot, with very small crosshair adjustments so that it actually makes sense. That is what BAP benefits from. He can weave right clicks between his left clicks between his right clicks. Because there's a delay between your right clicks and there's a delay between your left clicks, and you can cut that delay by weaving, alternating shots, etc. So you need the enemies and the allies to be close on your screen. So he is the textbook definition of you should be playing right here. You can still throw your lamp to here just fine from up there. Okay. We haven't charged crouch at all? Really? Charge a crouch, please. Yeah. Like, it's crazy to me that we didn't crouch to be able to escape, exit, etc. up to here. Good, good, we did it. We found the answer. Reload, reload. They don't need that much heals. You don't need this much preemptive healing either. You actually don't have anyone in your team that can go challenge a Mercy. That is kind of hilarious.
I could use some.
Regen
Hey
up.
guys, we found the one comp that Mercy can play flanker against and not really get punished.
You're going to be fine.
You didn't have a crouch charged. Frequently you would have a crouch charge when you're just sort of walking around like that. That would have, again, let you dodge the Earth Shatter, let you be up here. You also could have lamped this because, you could have lamped this. Because you heard the Earth Shatter, which it's not great, but it's something. Okay, that was fun.
30 seconds remaining.
And that's over. So, let's take a look here. Let's get Anna screen, since Anna is what you were playing. Okay, so what I want you to work on is I want you to be more aware of this Tracer. This Tracer wasn't good enough to terrorize you, but I want you to be more aware of her in terms of, hey, you're not responding some of the time when she's going on flanks. You can hear her blinks, you can hear her shooting at you or someone near you, etc. And you either just aren't aware that she's there or you actively ignore her to run to your team, etc. And even if you want to work your way towards your team, you can't not look at her, not take shots at her, etc. as you work your way towards your team if she's already in. That's not a thing you can do. So you need to do that better. That will punish you against better tracers, against better flankers in general. On the subject of tracers, I would like you to go do less medium range sleeps against tracer. I know they're a little higher probability on console than on on console than on PC because you get a little aim assist to help, etc. Just that's the nature of consoles, and that's fine. I'm not knocking it, but I really would prefer that tracers who know what they're doing are blinking in reaction to you doing things, and you want them to be using the blinks on your less expensive shots, not on your more expensive sleeps. And then finally, we didn't see great nanos from you. I want your nanos when the opponent, I want your nanos when the opposing team is effectively stuck in the fight. And, if you've got someone good to combo with for your nano, great. If you don't, it's okay to put it on a bulky tank that's in their face, etc., and let them use their 50% boost to damage reduction and damage. Like, it's okay to do that, but do that sort of once they're committed, etc. You had a boost onto a charging Reinhardt, and that might have been like your best nano. Your nanos were not particularly high value. So we're not looking for the nano barrage really. We're not looking for, hey, let's nano to heal people, etc. We're not looking for, hey, let's do this nano. I want you to use nanos because you do sit on them a bit, but I want you to use them specifically when it's still like a 6v6, 5v6, but preferably a 6v6, and your two teams have met. So I want you to hold it. Okay, your two teams have met. It would be kind of hard for the opposing team to get out. They'd have to spend cooldowns, etc. That's what I want when I want you to use nano, but I want you to use it before the other team has got out. And if you don't have any great nano targets, that's fine. Reinhardt's a fine nano target, but even if there isn't a Reinhardt, here's my medium energy Zarya. Here's my D.Va that has boosters available and is already in the enemy's team face. Here's my, it's fine. We have reasonable options. Your tanks will generally work okay for you for nano. McCree can work okay. Tracer can work okay if the Zen, doesn't have trans, etc. Like, there's all sorts of good stuff. We're really not too worried about that. So pick one of those things, work on it, try to internalize it, try to work on improving on it for 3 games, 5 games, 3 days, 30 games, a week, whatever it sort of takes for it to sort of become part of your autopilot, etc. And once it's clear it is part of your autopilot, then move on to working on the next thing and trying to get better at that, etc. Don't try to improve on too many things at once. You won't. You need to be able to actually focus and go like, hey, it's taking 10, 5, 15% of my brain power to focus on this to do that, etc. Otherwise, you really won't be able to. You might conceptually know that I'm supposed to do these things, but what we need to do is we need to build it into your habit system, etc. So we had one at a time. Okay. Do I see anything better? Lamp can block a shatter. Not really. But, it can block the follow-up, or it can at least make them destroy the lamp before the shatter, before, following up on you guys, etc. Whilst does GA make you fly and shift lets you return to your team quickly once you've bursted someone down? Oh, we're talking our flanking, mercy, etc. Valk lets you fly and shift lets you move. Yeah. Nano Junkrat. If Junkrat's already in their face, if Junkrat has his mines, if Junkrat came in on a flank, same thing with like when I was saying, hey, you could nano the Pharah here if she was really over and she could do work. It would be fine. If your Pharah's in an aggressive position, yeah, nanoing her would potentially be fine there, and your team pushes at the same time, and it's great. So you don't need to be limited with your nanos. You don't need to be too limited on who you nano. Getting the timing right is more important. Though yes, there is a priority to nano targets. Oh, you mean the lamp itself? Yes. Sorry. I didn't realize what you meant there, Zara. Thank you. Yes. That is correct. Lamp does some funny things in general. Okay. Okay, that's going to do it. I am going to do another one of these. So that is fine. I hope to see you all.